Good morning and Happy New Year to all of my Live with Tony listeners. And it is just hard to believe that 2025 has gone by so quickly. And I guess in the research I've done, as we get older, because you have more memories and you have more mental experiences and capacities, life events, your time goes by even quicker. So I guess getting older is not a bad thing, but getting older says time just goes by fast. And 2025, I got a 26th USA Memory Championship, working on a TV program, doing some exciting things. It gets me to think about, so what is something new that people can do in the year 2026 that make it a little bit different and make it memorable and make it fun? And so I refer back to an article in Psychology Today that talked about mental tune-ups, mental tips that we can provide. And what are some things that we can do a little bit differently that can have an impact in our life? And the first one that is always the hardest for people to deal with is what I call their own self-talk, their own internal synergy of thought. And so when people have to realize, first, our brain has infinite capacity to think, and it's working all day long. It's never stopping to not think. I've often done in workshops an exercise where I ask people to take 5 seconds and let's not think. And everybody laughs or looks at you like you're crazy. I can't stop thinking, no matter even trying to stop thinking. It starts getting you to think. So it's an interesting synergy of what you go through in your own mental process. And so what I call that is your own self-talk, your own ability to think about your own synergy of thinking and what that's doing to you. So one of the first things I always try to get people in the new year to think about is, what is their gig? Meaning, garbage in, garbage grows in a brain. Meaning the synergy of thought that begins to start connecting and starts linking and organizing additional thoughts, and it takes you down a pathway. And if that thinking is focused on problems, challenges, what life is not doing, problems and things of what's not happening at work, what's not happening at family, the question becomes, is how might you change that first position, G? Meaning, let's take the garbage, the things that are driving us crazy and stressing us, and let's bring it towards what is something that I can find and latch onto that would be good. And therefore, good in and good will grow. So our gig can go from garbage to good. And even in the cases as you get the good rolling, good in, good will grow, it leads to greatness in, and greatness will grow. And so in my work I've done over the years, so many people have come back and said that simple exercise of getting me to step and think about my first position, G, has a world of difference in my life and what I've been able to do to it and the changes I've been able to make. So when New Year's comes, I always think about, what are some of the things that you bring into the new year that may be some challenges or some stresses or some problems? And can you begin to think of some of the things that you can do in the new year that move those from garbage to good, or some new things that you might do that bring goodness into your life and happy thoughts and positive things into your life? And so one of the things that I always think about is the importance of social interaction and social connection and support. And I always say to people, can you make it a goal in the next 12 months to find 2 or 3 new activities that bring you into different social settings and have you meet different people? And I even go as low as just go find a local park and sit on a bench, or go to a local mall and sit on a bench in a mall. And just observe the people. Just build a new social interaction and a new social skill for yourself that allows you to observe people. And most important, observing people having a good time. Can you go to a local park and local amusement, or watching kids play and just enjoy the experience of watching people have fun? So what's something different you can do in 2026 is make it a goal to go expand your social interactions and go observe people enjoying themselves and having fun. And I often don't suggest that they go to a sporting event of any sort, because half the people in the sporting event are going to be happy as their team may win, and half the people are going to be stressed and sad or disappointed in their team may lose. But I always enjoy even in that environment, finding people on the losing side and seeing how they get through the stress of their team losing and what experiences that they do afterward that help them to deal with a loss. And so the gig principle is always in play, and how you integrate social interactions and connections and support with that can make a world of difference in how you look at your whole life, how you look at the new year of 2026, and making it a goal to go out into some community events. At this time of the year, the football season's wrapping up, so I always suggest to people, go into your local high schools or find a local college and go watch a basketball game. And don't get attached to who's winning or who loses the game, but observing the fans and the players, the cheerleaders, the coaches, and just make it a study of human behavior during a competition of some sort. And don't go in with the attitude of, I got to root for a team or not. I'm just there to observe. You're just there to observe a game. And I know some of the best TV watching that I do in that same regard is when I watch a game where I'm not rooting for either team and just enjoy the moment of the game. Now, I'm adding to that as you're enjoying the moment of any event that you're part of in community, because I'm thinking it's winter, and in many cases you don't want to go outside and observe people sitting on a park bench when it's 20 degrees. Go to an indoor arena somewhere, and especially, I always say high schools. It's always fun to watch younger people and what they're doing, how they're reacting to different things. With my point being is I want you to build a skill of how something you can do to observe social interaction, and that moves you away from what we defined last week as loneliness and isolation to where you at least see and experience the world. Maybe there's a community event that's going on. Maybe you can look at the local community calendar and see if there are any public events where it's going to either be indoor or, if it's a pleasant day, outdoor events, to where you observe people again interacting. I always find the indoor flea markets at this time of the year are a good thing to experience, because again, you can just sit there or observe, make it a point of having a cup of coffee, hot chocolate if it's cold, and observe people interacting and what they're looking through, what they're buying, what conversations they may be having. And again, become a student of human beings. Museums are a great time of the year. When it gets colder, if you're in the Northeast and the Midwest and the northern parts, going to museums and making it a point, again, observing some of the history of what a museum may have in it, but the interaction of people. And it's always great when kids are in the museums and look at what they're doing and what they're observing, what the lessons are that they're walking away with. Libraries are a good place to go, but you have to obviously be quiet. But libraries, again, what books are people taking off the shelf? What magazines might they be reading? And just be a student of what people are doing and how their expressions are. And maybe there's something you can grab from that, being involved in the community events. Maybe there's a school play or a school gathering of some sort that you can do at this time of the year. You need to just do a little bit of research on community activities and what's happening in your community, and just get yourself involved in it just from observation, without an agenda, but just to go as an observer and just see if it has an impact on your gig. How does it impact your social interactions and the support you have and the people that you see? And then take your gig and pick up the good things that you observe and just think how they may impact your life, and make that a target for your 2026 changes in action, activities, and behaviors that can help your life raise itself up to a new level of just being alive and being with people and seeing what you might be able to learn and the lessons that you can drive. So from that point, that's my first lesson for January of 2026. May all of you find one thing that you can do this year that can make a difference in your life and add to the synergy of good in and good grows. And maybe by December of 26, we can find greatness in all of that, and you can find some new experiences. So we'll see you. It's hard. I realize today is Friday. we have a weekend here, lots of football yet, and basketball, and then sporting activities, and we'll see you back here on Monday. So have a wonderful weekend, and if you can, extend the joy you've had over this holiday season.